The ocean. A place that seems calm on the surface, but hides the oldest secrets of Earth beneath its waves. Over 90 million years ago, in the vast ancient sea that once covered North America, a terrifying creature roamed like a nameless shadow. It didn't roar, it had no claws, but with a single bite, it could end the life of any creature smaller than itself. Its name was Xiphactinus, a prehistoric predator shaped like a fish, but behaving like a bloodthirsty monster. Yet, what made this creature infamous wasn't its brutality. It was its death. A strange, almost cursed death. A double fatality buried beneath millions of years of silence. When paleontologists uncovered the fossilized remains of Xiphactinus, they were stunned. Inside its stomach was another fish, still intact, nearly half its size. No signs of digestion, no bite marks. It had died, with its prey still lying inside its belly. And from that moment on, the curse of Xiphactinus began to spread, like blood dispersing through seawater. Imagine this. You're swimming in an ancient sea. The water salty, the light dim and ghostly. Everything is still. Then suddenly, from beneath you, a long shadow shoots upward like a living torpedo. That is Xiphactinus. Stretching 5 to 6 meters in length, its body is lean like a missile, yet packed with raw muscle. Its scales are dark and thick, like living armor, reflecting faint beams of light from the ocean depths. But what makes it truly nightmarish is the mouth. A gaping maw, nearly half the size of its entire head. Its teeth weren't just for biting. They were for tearing, hooking, and locking prey in place until the final breath. Needle-sharp, outward-pointing fangs, like a set of living steel traps. And the eyes? Cold, black, unblinking, always wide open, as if watching every twitch in the darkness. It didn't need to hide. It didn't need to wait long. With just one burst of speed, Xiphactinus could swallow a fish nearly its own size in seconds. And sometimes, that very hunger became the beginning of its own terrible end. But wait, you still don't know the strangest part. In 1952, in the state of Kansas, USA, a group of paleontologists uncovered a rare fossil buried within ancient chalk beds. As the final layer of earth was brushed away, everyone froze. Lying before them was a nearly complete skeleton of a Xiphactinus. But what drew their attention wasn't its terrifying jaws or its bizarre shape. It was what lay inside its belly. Curled up within was another fish, belonging to the species Gylicus arquatus, nearly 2 meters long. And even stranger, the prey showed no signs of digestion, no torn skin, no broken bones, as if Xiphactinus had just swallowed it whole and then died immediately afterward. But why? How could a powerful predator like this suffer such a sudden and tragic end right after feeding? One theory suggests Gylicus was too big. As it was being swallowed, it thrashed violently, tearing Xiphactinus's internal organs from the inside. A second theory is even chilling. The prey got stuck in the throat, cutting off the predator's airflow, leading to suffocation in its own hunting grounds. The hunter killed by its own greed. A death so tragic, so bizarre, it feels more like an ancient curse than natural selection. From that moment on, the story of Xiphactinus was no longer just one of evolution. It became a mystery, a fossilized case with no clear answer.
In the ancient oceans of the Cretaceous period, Xiphactinus was not the only hunter. The sea surface back then wasn't a place of peace. It was a battlefield where any creature, no matter how big or fast, could become prey in the blink of an eye. In the deeper waters, the massive Mosasaurus glided like a 15-meter-long ghost, with jaws powerful enough to crush a giant sea turtle. In the middle layers, Prehistoric, the ancient ancestor of today's great white shark, moved with deadly speed and cold-blooded instinct. And near the surface, Pteranodons would dive from the sky, snatching prey the moment it came up to breathe. In this brutal arena, Xiphactinus wasn't the apex predator, but it was the most reckless. It didn't go for the weakest prey. It went after the biggest one it thought it could swallow whole. One wrong move meant death. But if it succeeded, it could feed itself for days. Every time it swam out from its hiding place, it was a gamble between life and death. One bad bite meant torn throat. One poor choice meant becoming someone else's dinner. In a world like that, only one rule truly mattered: eat or be eaten. And when the sea began to rise and rage, it marked the moment when the hunter met its fate.
In the deepest corners of the ocean, there are dark zones where no human has ever set foot. Trenches deeper than a flipped Everest. Layers of freezing, lightless mud where time itself seems to stop. And some believe strange, undocumented creatures still live down there. So what if Xiphactinus never truly vanished? What if its DNA or fossilized eggs remain buried beneath the icy sediment, waiting for the right moment to awaken? Recently, researchers have recorded strange underwater noises, the movement of something massive, unlike any known fish today. Fishermen in the Caribbean reported, "I saw a shadow, as long as a bus. It glided past the boat, made no sound. Only its teeth glowed under the moonlight." In Australia, a swordfish was dragged into the depths while still thrashing. Underwater cameras caught only a flash of jaws, then silence. Science calls it coincidence, but the ocean never forgets. Because where light cannot reach, nightmares still survive. And if you're ever out in the open sea and hear something stirring beneath the waves, ask yourself, are you sure you're the only one swimming?
Xiphactinus vanished from the oceans more than 66 million years ago. But what it left behind wasn't just a fossil. It was a strange tale, a chilling lesson about life, death, and greed. It wasn't the strongest predator. It didn't have the most fearsome weapons, but it was among the boldest, willing to swallow prey nearly its own size, even if that choice could kill it. And ironically, it's that very recklessness that made it one of the most famous fossils on Earth. Sometimes, nature doesn't need to create massive monsters to instill fear. All that takes is a sharp set of teeth, a hungry belly, and one wrong decision. And in the deep, where so much of the ocean remains unexplored, who's to say creatures like Xiphactinus are truly gone?
Because in the darkness, sometimes what's watching you isn't supposed to exist.